Diego Sanchez was supposed to be on the card, and they had to cancel his fight. He's actually supposed to fight Donald Cerrone. Now,
That was this
wow,
card?
that was this card, correct?
I thought it was the card that just happened
Oh, I'm sorry,
on
last week.
Saturday.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
why did they get rid of that? I'm sorry. I know I told the story last week, but why did that fight get canceled?
Well, remember Diego, he asked for, well, it wasn't Diego himself,
Trainer.
his trainer, as we're gonna just say for right now, asked for the medical records like 2 weeks before the fight or a week before the fight, which raised the red flags from the UFC brass, which, long story short, it resulted in him being released. But one thing that's not being talked about enough is Diego got his show, his win, and sponsorship money. So at least they didn't just kick him out the door with a foot in his ass. They, they gave him a little, did the right thing. Right. It's just his coach on the other hand, man.
I actually saw the video where he was chasing around people with knives, and he said, everything is a knife, everything is a knife. And that,
hold on, tell me what?
Yeah, it's a video, and like I was just watching.
Diego Sanchez,
his coach,
trainer.
Yeah. So yeah, he was just
dojo.
And, well, funny enough, so last week you said that on the podcast, right? So McDojo Life, shout out to him. He had a video, and it had Diego Sanchez upside down like Spider-Man, as Josh Fabio was just punching him in the head and kicking him in the side of the head. Like it looked very odd. Like, is that a training technique? You know what I mean? If so, what is it training? I need to know. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm ignorant to it.
This is the reason why he says he's in fear of his life. It's not because of the UFC. It's stuff like that is creating CTE more than likely. He needs to go get checked out. Like no trainer. That style of training is something that was only permissible 10 to 15 years ago. And even then, if you were doing something like that, they would say there's no way in the world you'll ever be a winner. You have bad training. He's been in this McDojo place, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't get a chance to. I didn't really watch the whole video because it was very bizarre. But because I know there was a video clip where he ended up expressing himself in terms of like his fears with the UFC and a lot of his concerns, as well as like seeing that weird clip with like him and his coach. It's just, I don't know. It's really weird. I think he needs to get help. I see more now why you guys are saying like, because I think last week I said he's a grown man, right? Either I said this on or off record. Like he's a grown man and like he's responsible for who he puts in his corner. But at this point, it's a little concerning. I think he needs to get help. He needs to get help. Someone needs to save him. I don't know if it's an old training partner, if it's an ex, kids, whoever. Someone needs to I don't even want to say that. Someone just needs to help him, long story short, because he's on a bad path.
Congratulations, Joshua. What was it? Fabia, whatever. You're the inaugural winner of the Oscar De La Hoya Award.
It's our highlight person of the week.
He is not the highlight of the week. He is the inaugural winner of the Oscar De La Hoya Award. And, listeners, you should know that's one of the most prestigious awards that you can give to bizarre idiots, dumb things, just kind of like the guy who rode his bike when the train stopped. I laugh about this shit all the time. When the train stopped and he thought he could beat the train, so he crawls under the train with his bike and the train runs him over.
Oh, I remember hearing
it's like,
about
why?
that. That was crazy.
It's a wild situation.
It just made me think like, why would you ever do something like that? Just like Diego Sanchez, like obviously something happened between these two, but when you have Diego hanging upside down, who used to be professionally trained, Diego was professionally trained by Greg Jackson down to Jackson Wink. He was around phenomenal fighters like John Jones. Hell, even the guy he was supposed to fight, Donald Cerrone, he used to train with him. To working with a guy who's the equivalent of some guy on the street trying to hustle you, letting him, speed bag your head and kick you and shit like that while you're hanging upside down. it just goes to show like there's something wrong and there's something odd going on there, man.
There has to
And
be.
and I hope Diego gets his help. I'm not even trying to be like funny or nothing. I hope Diego gets his help. I hope this Josh Fabia guy just goes off somewhere in obscurity somewhere, you know. And I hope that he can take a long look at himself in the mirror and realize what he's doing is, you know, it's dangerous. So I hope this Diego Sanchez era ends on a good note because it's really a shame, man. We should really be talking about like, wow, this guy came from the Ultimate Fighter. He had some big fights. He had some good wins. What a career. Now we're talking about him and this guy that's, as Rashad Evans said, right? He's a parasite. So it's just kind of crazy, man. It's crazy.
It just shows how sometimes like it can take maybe like a few things and a few people to really like take you down a really deep turn. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, you know. Shouts out to Diego Sanchez, like legend of the sport, and you know, hope that everything goes okay with him because he does need help because he needs to get away from that. That was crazy.
Yeah, definitely. So I that's one thing that does come to mind. How easily it can happen where, because I think he was going through a divorce when he met his coach. So like he got caught at a vulnerable time. So this really goes to show like you really got to protect your peace, even like at your most vulnerable times. Listeners, like always protect yourself because you never know. Like these string of events happen, and now someone that was once pretty much from a legendary camp now is like he's looked at as like he's training in a McDojo essentially, complete opposite of what he once was. So it's kind of sad, but only thing you can do is hope that he gets help. Like that's the only thing you can really say at this point. Like I just hope he gets help. I know